Hello, my lovely ladies, and welcome back to the Female Entrepreneurs Network podcast, the podcast where we empower female entrepreneurs to thrive in both business and life. I'm Ayla, I'm your host, and today we're diving into a topic that I know many of you are struggling with, which is you are spending too much time on minor tasks. And this can seriously downgrade the productivity in your company and your ability to grow your business as well. It matters, this topic, because as mompreneurs, our time is incredibly valuable. We juggle so many roles in the business, at home, socially, maybe you're someone's wife as well, and we get caught up in the weeds of the minor tasks that can prevent us from making real progress. So addressing this issue is crucial because it can transform not just your business, but your entire life as well. So let's get into it. Hi, I'm Ayla, and for over a decade I've been dedicated to helping entrepreneurs thrive. Welcome to the Female Entrepreneurs Network podcast. Here we focus on personal growth so your business can grow alongside you. Discover how to optimize your business, elevate your mindset, and truly feel and act like a CEO. This is more than just business, it's about transforming your entire entrepreneurial journey. Join me on this path to unlock your fullest potential. Let me first share a personal story because I am actually struggling with this problem as we speak. So maybe I'm just recording this podcast to myself and no, I'm actually recording it for you, but it doesn't hurt to sharpen my own tools while I'm at it. So when I started out with the Female Entrepreneurs Network, I set out to avoid the problem that I had faced in the past, wanting it to be perfect. For example, at the moment I'm recording this, I don't have a website, and that feels super counterintuitive. The only way it would be useful for me to have a website at this point is if I actually had an audience that would website and click on things and see things I had to offer. But I decided to grow my audience by starting a podcast. And so I'm focusing on creating a podcast and not on creating a website. In the past, I would have totally done it the other way around. I would have spent hours tweaking my website, adjusting the color of a button or the shape or the shadow of a button. Tiny little things like that can be useful further on. If you're testing pages, landing pages against each other, stuff like that, yes, cool. Not while you're just building up something. You want to get somewhere. Same thing that I used to do a lot was rewriting emails. I would rewrite an email multiple times, go back and forth on what I said, how I said it, reread it, did I make a typo, etc. Maybe it comes with age as well. Lack of time. I don't give a fuck anymore about emails. It's just out of my system. I don't have time to go back and forth on what I said and how I said it because I know it's coming out the right way anyway. I'm good with words. I don't have to double check it every time I send something out. And in general, people are not going to hate you because you made a typo in an email. The consequence of being a perfectionist is that it takes up so much of your time. You're not getting any real work done, and in the end, it will never be good enough anyway. You should rather focus on growing your business and reduce stress and overwhelm than you are on just perfectionistic behavior all the time. I don't know if this sounds familiar to you at all. Maybe you're not really identifying as a perfectionist, but you still feel like minor tasks are holding you back. I have a few common signs that it's actually perfectionism that's holding you back. So, first of all, it's procrastination, especially on major projects. If you're going to focus on minor details, minor tasks, etc. Another thing is overloading your to-do list with trivial tasks that make you feel busy, but that don't move the needle in your business at all. And this is more maybe a feeling. If you're constantly feeling busy, but like you feel very unproductive at the same time as well, running in place, running on a hamster wheel, getting you nowhere, perfectionism right there for you. So I actually looked up I don't know if it's what's the word? A definition of perfectionism. So hold on. Here we go. It's the relentless pursuit of flawlessness and setting excessively high performance standards. It means that you're forever setting the bar way too high for yourself and that you will forever chase the feeling that it's not good enough. it's not getting you anywhere. It often comes from a feel of failure or a fear of criticism, and it can manifest in many, many ways, like obsessively work, as we said, avoiding tasks that you're unsure about, and getting caught up by details all the time. I got over many of it, but avoiding tasks you're unsure about, that's right up my alley. Whenever I have to do something that I am unsure about, or I don't know, if I don't have a process for it, I work very well on process, follow the steps, here we go. And right now, for example, I'm still learning how to make podcasts, what the process is for me. I'm doing a new program. I'm learning a new program to edit my podcasts in. And I just know my brain, every time I hit a bump in the road, I just grab my phone and I start scrolling on Instagram. And it's just my brain saving myself from actually having to do the work and learn it and struggle with needing to learn it, but also not wanting to get into the nitty-gritty details of this program because I'm not going to use those features. So I might as well just learn what I need to learn. And then my brain just goes, no, and please take your phone and scroll on Instagram. So that's a very big point in identifying perfectionism. At the end of the day, perfectionism has a lot of consequences in your life. It can, first of all, lead to inefficiency in your business, which is never good. But on the other end, it can also eventually lead to burnout. Well, because it makes sense, I think. I have a feeling that you already know this, and that's probably why you're listening to this podcast in the first place, because if you would not struggle with this problem, you would have clicked away after a minute, just going, oh, this is not for me. So you probably already know this. But still, let's just point it out to make sure it's hitting home for you. Whenever you're striving for perfectionism, you spend a lot of time on tasks that don't really impact your bigger goals. So if you're spending hours on creating a single social media post, for example, you could have been doing revenue generating activities at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but in that time that you're using for the social media post. You could have been working towards your vision. You could have been working according to your strategic planning, but you didn't. And at the end of the day, that's going to cause you stress because you're going to hyper focus on the likes and the comments that you're getting on that social media post because it took you so long and you spent so much time on it. And that's just another rabbit hole you're going to fall down into because you're spending your energy on something that doesn't really matter for the overall goal, the overall vision, wherever you're going. Perfectionism creates stress, it creates anxiety, and it can lead to depression and you not liking your own business. And that's not what we want because we are entrepreneurs and we love to like our business. So, all that being said, how do we tackle perfectionism? To overcome perfectionism, we need to shift our mindset. And here are a few ways to start. First of all, this is really difficult because you're a perfectionist, but you gotta embrace good enough. Done is better than perfect. Take action no matter how messy. That's the whole mindset we're going for. I actually have a post-it on my computer downstairs that says, take action no matter how messy, because it's keeping me going. If I just sort of go, I look at my screen and see the post-it and I just go, oh yes, action. Okay, here we go. I'm going for the 80% rule, and that is, if I am 80% satisfied, it's good enough to publish. At first, this feels awful and it feels very counterintuitive because you want it to be 120% perfect before you publish it. But it has become a habit over the years, and other people are never going to look as closely to your stuff as you are. So your 80% is usually going to be 100% to others. And if you have someone complaining, it's probably they're mirroring their own perfectionism back onto you. I'm very good with words, with reading. I've dabbled in correcting manuscripts. I say dabbled because I love the work, but it just got snowed into renovating the castle and getting a second child, etc. It's something I would actually love to do again in the future when I have more time for it, because it's not super profitable to do, but I like it and it's fun, and it's the job where you actually take out the points and the commas and see if there's a double space between words. My eyes are hawks when it comes to text. So when it comes to my own texts, I'm very hypercritical. I see everything. And so for me, I can get stuck on text a lot. Other people, this is your You probably have this with something. It's your blind spot. Because you're so good at it, you think that other people are going to be good at it as well. But when you have my hawk eyes when it comes to words, typos people make, and you just realize most people don't have the eyes of a hawk. This can be for anything. So figure out what your blind spot is, what other people don't necessarily know. So embrace the 80% because other people are not going to notice it. The second one is also has to do with 80%, but it's another 80%. It's the Pareto principle, which states that 80% of your results actually come from 20% of your efforts. I actually want you to let that sink in. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. So take in mind the social media post we were just talking about that you spent hours creating. It's probably not gonna be in the 80% of your results coming from that. That's not the 20% effort we're talking about here. You focus on the tasks that will give you the biggest return on your investment being time in this case. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts, okay? Make those 20% count. That being said, some actionable tips. If you are going to create posts for social media, for example, make sure you have everything you need prepared. For me, it really helps to bunch up tasks. So I would be creating multiple reels in one go. And if you're now listening to this, maybe, and you see she has a following of 20 people on Instagram. Yes, I have. This is not my only Instagram account. So there you go. I actually know what I'm talking about as well for social media. If I'm creating posts for social media, sorry, that sounded very cocky, didn't it? Like, I know what I'm doing for social media. I am no social media manager. I don't know what I'm doing for social media, but I have more than just one Instagram. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to creating content. Sorry, I felt the need to defend myself to myself. What I wanted to say is make sure you have everything you need prepared when you're going to create a bunch of reels, posts, whatever. No, we're going to stick with reels. Make sure that you have the scripts ready. Make sure that you know what you want to film in the first place. You get dressed nicely, whatever, and then do it. And then don't fall into the trap of wanting to go back and tweak the script that you are holding in your hands to create the reel. You already made it. It's good enough. Resist the urge to go back on the work that you already did. Another tip I have for you is to set realistic goals and deadlines. It sounds very logical, smaller, manageable steps, and to set deadlines for each as well. I'm going to take an example from my home situation right now. We are renovating our pool and we are doing all the renovations ourselves. And you have this big vision in mind, and there will be a bar there, and we would have moved the... Sorry, my microphone is really in the way. I keep boxing it. We are going to move the pump that's cleaning the water. It's a big project. And if you keep the end in mind, it's a perfect vision because that's what we have in mind. But it's also if you're just standing there going, okay, I have the vision. Wow, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be perfect. Then it might actually stop you from getting started and making it messy in the first place. We are making it very messy right now. It's just a concrete big tub with nothing. And that might set us back, but I've actually, in Notion, I've made a whole project of what task depends on what and what's the deadline for this. And then you can we focus on this one task. Doesn't matter that it's still looking messy because you know that this one task is going to get you one step closer to the overall goal, and the overall goal can be as perfectionistic as you like. Make the steps messy, and then in the end the result will be perfect because you cut it up into small tasks, and in the end it'll get you there. And the last one, because I will die on this hill forever, and I'm probably going to mention it in every podcast episode from now on, delegate your outsource. Please, you don't have to do everything yourself. You have to identify non-essential tasks that can be delegated or outsourced to free up your time for more critical activities. I can't wait for the moment that I can outsource my sort of graphic design to someone else. I currently don't want to spend money on that just yet, but I also really dislike the tasks. I am too perfectionistic for it, actually. And so it's taking up more of my time than I even want in the first place. And it's just there. It's like a cloud over my head going, oh, I need to design stuff for Instagram. I don't want to do that. I know that I can spend my time so much better by helping you. That's why I'm here. And helping you is something I can do by talking into your mindset, by giving you tips on how you can run your business. I can't help you with graphic design. That's not my thing, but it is somebody else's thing. And they are really quick and fast and awesome about it. And while I'm saying this, I'm wondering, why am I not spending the money to give it to someone else? Because it would just make my head empty and I'll be able to focus on shit that really matters. So outsource, please, forever outsource everything. Some tools and techniques that you can use to overcome getting stranded in microtasks. The one I absolutely love to use every single day is the MIT method, the most important tasks method. Each day, you start your day by list your top 3 tasks that will make the biggest impact on your business, and you focus on completing those tasks first. Preferably you have your vision in mind. You don't have to make your overflowing inbox more important than it is, for example. This task really helps me to focus on getting where I want to go instead of I want to create a reel today and I'm getting stuck into, I don't know, should I be wearing something nice? Where am I going to film this, etc.? No, that's not what I want to focus on today. I want to focus on something that makes an impact on my business. 3 tasks each day, write them out, start with those, and it's going to give massive results for you very quickly. And the second is, dear God, I hope you're already doing this, but I know a lot of entrepreneurs who don't. And I can't wrap my head around that, actually. Please use a productivity tool, Trello, Asana, a simple to-do list to keep track of everything that's going on in your head, all your tasks, your deadlines, etc. Anything will do. Write it out on a notepad. But personally, I work in Notion and I love it. Absolutely love it. It has everything in one place. I can combine the shit out of all my tasks. I love the cross-referencing it can do. Probably when I start working with a team again, I'm gonna sort of mix Asana into it because I really like Asana for talking about tasks, but for crying out loud, productivity tool. For me, I'm combining work tasks, renovation tasks for the castle, tasks for my veggie garden. It's amazing. And the trick is to not get sucked into the vortex of knowing exactly how a program like that works, because that's perfectionism again. And it's on a whole other level because it's not something that you're going to publish to people. It's just for you, but it's still perfectionism. It's procrastination on the tasks that will actually get you results. This is a pitfall I fall into myself very regularly. Right now, for example, I'm using Descript to edit my podcasts. And for me, it's a new program. It's awesome. I have a lot to learn, but I'm trying to stay away from like all the tutorials and all the features. And I'm just focusing on learning what I need to use to create this podcast for you. And that's a thin line, so be mindful about that. You gotta learn something, don't go all the way. So I'm gonna close it off for today. We've discussed the importance of prioritizing impactful tasks over minor details, and I really hope that I drove that point home for you because it's so important to do. And how shifting your perfectionism to progress can actually significantly boost your productivity. And in the end, the way you feel about your business, about your life, and etc. Overcoming perfectionism is a journey. Don't forget that, please. You have to celebrate the small wins along the way. If you have a small win where you prioritize a big task over a small one, or you recognize that you're being sucked into the vortex of social media because you want to avoid something and you put away your phone, that's good. Celebrate. Please be kind to yourself. Progress, not perfection, is the key to success, really. So I challenge you to implement at least one of the tips we discussed here today, whether it's using the MIT method or delegating a task. Just take a step towards freeing yourself from the shackles of perfectionism. Okay, until next time, keep striving for your progress and create your own magic. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Female Entrepreneurs Network podcast. I hope you loved what you heard today. And if you did, it would mean a world to me if you could leave a review. Because believe it or not, reviews on podcasts are actually still used to make sure more people get to see this podcast in their screens and maybe click on it and learn something as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.